Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well, dear viewer. Really do hope that. That's right, you sitting there watching me right now. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Plenty of stuff to talk about today. Here, the morning after the night before at Anfield. That's done. We move on. A good point. I did a match review on Chelsea's 1-1 draw against Liverpool in the Premier League. Do go check that out. Welcome back. Settle in. We need... can't talk. Just had my coffee and I'm out. Lots to talk about today. Callum HudsonOdoi is still being targeted by Borussia Dortmund. Maybe as a bit more of a immediate replacement to Jadon Sancho. German football, of course, still really interested in the Chelsea winger. Excuse me, I'm just burping into the microphone. We're going to discuss that, Kurt Zouma's departure, Christensen's new contract maybe, and Kante's injury. Lots to get into, so daily content, of course. I'd urge you to drop a like to show your sweet, loving support to Football Therapy. Consider subscribing if you're new. Only if you want to, though. And, of course, feel free to follow me on the gram for exclusive nudes. And I am delighted to tell you that this video is brought to you by OneFootball. Oh, I'm over here. That's right, OneFootball is the only application you'll ever need for getting stuff or learning stuff about the beautiful game. Match statistics, lineups, results, transfer news, all football news. It's completely free. You can see it on the screen here. It's got everything you need, man. I use it every single day. You can too. Click the link in the description to get it for free. It helps the channel out. So yeah, I'd appreciate you all doing that. Alright then. Take a deep breath in. And let's get into it. Start off with Kurt Zouma. Oh, excuse me. He's left to West Ham. That's right, he's transferred. Confirmation here from the Chelsea Football Club official website. I can't talk still. Kurt Zouma's 7.5 year Chelsea career is at an end. After the defender today completed a permanent move to West Ham United. Zouma leaves Stamford Bridge having made 151 appearances for the Blues, scored 10 goals, I think like most of them coming last year, and his last game was the UEFA Super Cup success. And there he is with said trophy. I want to quickly check out an article here on the Evening Standard. £30 million for Kurt Zouma is actually quite good, considering the rumoured figures was about €30 million, which of course is about £26 million. So that's more than the reported amount. We'll have a quick look here. West Ham have confirmed the signing of Kurt Zouma. He signed a 4-year deal to 2025 with the option of 2 more years. There you go, a peculiar and intricate contract there. £30 million or 29.8 million transfer deal, which boosts David Moyes' defensive options. Actually a good signing for them, and ultimately, considering the circumstances, a good transfer for Chelsea. I mean, he's a great player. You would have liked to have got more from him. If you said like a year ago we'd be selling Zouma, you know, considering like your Ben Whites are going for £50 million, Kurt Zouma is a very good defender. Let's have it right. West Ham are getting a bit of a diamond there. Yeah, they've done this sort of PR with him and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the exact figures at the moment, but I think Chelsea have made about £140 million in the transfer market after all sales, or something like that, or 130. Actually, I did read 140 somewhere, which is incredible. You know, 30 million for Zouma, 40 million for Tammy Abraham or Euro. You know, you got your Tamoris, your Gurheys, your Girouds, your Victor Moseses. There's more. There's all the kids that went out the door as well. Who else was Zappa Costa? He went for a few million as well. It all adds up, man. Chelsea have done like superb things in terms of generating a lot of revenue this transfer window through player sales. So I think it was like 30 million plus in the green, despite having broken our transfer record for Romelu Lukaku. Right, there's lots of stuff to talk about still in today's video. I do want to talk about Hudson-Odoi and stuff, but I quickly want to reference what Thomas Tuchel spoke about in his post-match press conference after the draw at Anfield. He spoke about Andreas Christensen. Nizar Kinsella of Goal.com posed him a question, saying, look, he got man of the match. He did really well, but loads of Chelsea players did well. Is he about to sign a new contract? To which Tuchel sort of smiled, shrugged, and said, hopefully, but in a sort of coy way. He also said here, I'm reading my notes, he's growing stronger every week. He's a Chelsea boy. He was waxing lyrical. Took time to wax lyrical about Andreas Christensen and say all the right positive things. How not only in that game he played in the centre, he played on the side. He believes in his versatility. And from everything we understand, we can probably expect Andreas Christensen to sign a new contract, which is very, very positive indeed. I think it's a little bit more complex with Antonio Rudiger, with higher wage demands as a more senior player. But Andreas Christensen, it looks like we're going to lock him down. He's 25 years old. He's entering the peak of his powers. He's got a lot of experience at still a relatively young age, and we can be very excited about that. When it comes to N'Golo Kante's injury, I think it's an aggravated injury of what he recently had. By the sounds of Thomas Tuchel's comments, they said they took him off as a semi-precautionary, that he couldn't have explosive movements like high acceleration. And obviously that affects you in a game at Anfield against Liverpool in the Premier League. You know, stakes are so high so early in the season. So ultimately, it doesn't sound awful about Kante. I think probably he's okay, but he didn't want to super accelerate on what looked to be potentially a bit of an injury or aggravated injury. So I'm going to probably personally chalk that one up as a win, as a positive, and they're the most sort of notables out of Thomas Tuchel's press conference. I do want to go through Jacob Steinberg of The Guardian's article regarding Callum HudsonOdoi here. Borussia Dortmund seek loan deal for Chelsea's Callum HudsonOdoi. So yeah, persistent. Remember, Callum HudsonOdoi is really, really highly rated in Germany. Bayern Munich tried to do everything to sign him. Borussia Dortmund, obviously, these are the two biggest clubs in Germany. Still very keen to get the youngster on loan. Let's have a little read through. The winger is still yet to play the Premier League this season. I think that's largely down to how games have panned out. But manager Thomas Tuchel said he plans to keep 20-year-olds. So this is positive, I guess, depending on what your outlook would be. Some people would think, a season-long loan for Callum HudsonOdoi at Dortmund might do him great things. Maybe he can explode on the scene and do a Jadon Sancho in terms of how much output he can deliver in a season, but then again, he clearly is rated by Tuchel. Just because Tuchel isn't playing him, he does always talk about how good he is. He saw something in him immediately and played him at wing-back. He knows he can deliver something unique, and he doesn't want to lose that, Thomas Tuchel. Let's read. Borussia Dortmund want to sign Callum HudsonOdoi on loan and have not been put off by Tuchel's insistence that Chelsea intend to keep the winger this summer. They're a trier. HudsonOdoi is yet to feature for Chelsea in the Premier League this season and is open to joining on loan before the transfer window shuts on Tuesday. The 20-year-old wants more opportunities to showcase his talent and is waiting to see whether the Bundesliga club firm up their interest. You can understand why he wants to play. Tuchel left the door open for HudsonOdoi to fight for his future at Chelsea when he was asked about the youngster on Friday. However, the European champions have a formidable array of attacking options, and HudsonOdoi, who has struggled to push on since signing a 5-year deal worth $120k a week in September 2019, knows he is unlikely to be a regular starter this season, I imagine that's supposed to be. HudsonOdoi's long-term preference would be to prove himself at Chelsea. After rising through the club's academy, there is a growing acceptance, however, that he needs to play regularly, and he could benefit from spending the campaign at Dortmund, whose new manager, Marco Rose, has a reputation for attacking football. It just does seem like a good loan, doesn't it? That's the thing. The German side have a history of developing a young English talent, Jadon Sancho, who joined United for 75 million this summer, made his name at Dortmund, while Jude Bellingham was on the score sheet when Rosa's side beat Hoffenheim on Friday. Bellingham joined Dortmund from Birmingham in 2020, we know that. The 18-year-old midfielder was part of England's Euro 2020 squad. Of course, Callum HudsonOdoi wasn't. Chelsea are set to push ahead with their move to sign Sevilla defender Jules Koundé after selling Kurt Zouma to West Ham for 30 million band. They are still negotiating with Sevilla over Koundé. A loan move for Atletico midfielder Saul Niguez remains a possibility before the window shuts, although we've my brain is just melted there. Apparently the Saul deal has broken down, but who knows, man? This is Chelsea. Anything can happen, and it could be revitalised in the dying embers of the transfer window. Interesting. Look, man, Callum HudsonOdoi, if it's a loan with no option to buy, I mean, that's really appealing, isn't it? Like, imagine him starting for Dortmund every week in the yellow of Dortmund and just tearing up the scene, shredding the scene. Does sound like really appealing. He's a little bit younger, I think, than Jadon Sancho, a year younger. So, you know, the year that Jadon Sancho gets his starting place in United, he could come back and be the same age ultimately at Chelsea, should that happen. But he is utilised. Thomas Tuchel will look at all the competitions he's got this season and be like, I do trust him. He is very good. He's just not first choice at the moment. And he knows in a pinch he can use him at right wing back, or indeed he can use him at left wing back. He knows he can do that. He can afford to have very offensive wing backs in certain games against certain opposition, because provided he's got his first choice double six in the midfield, and there's a good solid back three, there's so much cover for offensive wing backs. Look at these glasses, man. So therefore he might be thinking, you know, HudsonOdoi, like he's going to trust HudsonOdoi over Pulisic at wing back, who by the way has played wing back. So I can understand him wanting to stay, but I can also understand, well, this would be a really appealing loan for HudsonOdoi, and kind of appealing to some of us Chelsea fans, because a lot of people still seriously believe in the player, and as they should, as do I. And that could be awesome, watching him start for Dortmund. What do you guys think? I want to hear your opinion. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this potential loan move of HudsonOdoi to Dortmund. I'll be keen to read everyone's thoughts. And yeah, do consider dropping a like on the video, because of course I'd urge you guys to do that. Let's see if we can get a bunch of likes. My friends, and be sure to go check out OneFootball, because it's like I said, guys, it's totally free. You just click the link in the description, and it does me a favour. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Help out the channel. Alright guys, keep it locked. As soon as news breaks, I'll react and report on it here on Football Therapy. So yeah, enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.